Today is April 7th, 2023. Today is Dehya's last stand because today is Dehya's birthday and we are just a couple of days away from the 3.6 update, which is honestly pretty good. You should definitely watch me react to that. It's a good update. It's coming pretty soon, and realistically, the buffs that Dehya could potentially get are either coming at the beginning of 3.6 or probably not coming at all, if we're being real. So let's go through for the past 2-ish weeks. Let's see what has happened and how likely it is for Dehya to get buffs, as well as how the community has been, processing all of this information. So here we have, just to start off, here's Dehya's birthday post. Very cute, very nice. There's a gif of this on TikTok, which is really nice. And then there's the random posts about Dehya being cute, and then you start seeing the FixDehya posts, right? The Dehya stands and the Dehya mains Reddit are unwavering. They continue to ask for Dehya buffs, but obviously because time has gone on and people haven't seen any impact, there has been a decrease in the amount of FixDehya comments. Like, this is the Sumeru Adventure Journal that they posted a couple of days ago, April 5th to be specific. And although there's posts like, would be nice if you fix Dehya, like Peepo Gun, buff Dehya, you know what I'm saying? Like, it has been a lot more drowned out with the hype for Baiju, Kave, and the update, but they're still there. There's still the Dehya stands are still there. We're still holding the line. This last stand is happening. Now comes the question, do we think that Dehya is going to get any buffs? Now, there is a precedent to characters getting buffs if the backlash is severe enough, although the only precedent that exists is Zhongli. Zhongli, and you could argue that Zhongli got buffs, not necessarily because the backlash was insanely severe, although it kind of was in the Chinese community, but it was more so because Zhongli is the Archon of Liyue, and Liyue is the Chinese region, and Genshin Impact is a Chinese game, so, it kind of makes sense that they would be more receptive to buffing the god of the Chinese region, right? With that said, have we seen anything recently to warrant the belief that they might give Dehya a buff? We have this, which is on March 30th. Yeah, that's it's right here. I don't know why I couldn't read. On March 30th, they nerfed technically Mika. They fixed a bug, which technically nerfed him, sadly. And there is a precedent to changing the characters, but this is just a simple numbers value, which means that if Dehya is getting buffed and it was just a simple numbers buff, it would have happened already, because they can clearly very easily just change like numbers on the fly and buff and nerf characters like while the update is going on. It did take a long time for, Mika to actually get these numbers changed, but it could be worse theoretically, which means that like the potential buffs for Dehya are either more severe, like they're like actual changes, or we're just never getting changes. And now there's there's a piece of me that wants them to actually put changes, but you never know. All the meanwhile, the actual Genshin Impact subreddit has been kind of nuking all of Dehya related posts kind of like indiscriminately. There was a post made for the official birthday web event for Dehya, and it had been nuked and eventually reinstated, right? So they're just kind of going through and just if they see a post with Dehya on it and that it has potential negative comments, they just kind of go and axe it. Same thing with discussing discussing the new artifact set, which is very clearly for Dehya. And it's talking about how Dehya was supposed to be a burst DPS, or at least some part of her kit was supposed to be a burst DPS. That post got axed pretty rapidly. And then what a lot of people now feel is that because of her birthday, we got her little birthday message. So Dehya's birthday message says, I spent my birthday last year in the desert, waking up from the back of Sumter Beast, and saw the sun hanging high in the sky and thought, another year older, another year wiser. I gotta become a better version of myself and bring my A game. But later, it felt as though that wasn't necessary to have such high expectations. Birthdays are for commemoration. What matters most is that everyone is happy. And so, like, this is obviously, like, pre-written. Like, this is not a dig at Dehya or Dehya mains. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny that they've, like, I say funny. It's also kind of sad because of the state the Dehya is in. But it's kind of funny that they're like, you know, you don't gotta have such high expectations of Dehya. You just gotta have fun. Yeah, that's the whole point. Hoyoverse, we want to have fun with the character. And so with that comes the last stand that I mentioned at the beginning of this video. Today is Dehya's birthday, right? So Dehya's right in the spotlight, right in the middle of the crossfire of both Hoyoverse and the community currently. Everyone is paying attention to Dehya. You get your little reminder that Dehya exists from the in-game mail. And we're wrapping up the 3.5 update cycle, which means that we're also getting the little feedback surveys for specifically 3.5 content, including Dehya. So this is the last stand for Dehya. It's time for, you know, if you want to leave reviews, if you want to leave like replies on Twitter, all of those things, today is probably the best day to do it. If you haven't done it already, today is probably the best day to do it. I've talked about Dehya before, and I've like retweeted, done like, you know, try to spread the word about how bad Dehya has been. But you know, like, if there's a moment for the entire community to band together for ask for these buffs and for it to be the most successful, it's probably the day that Dehya has the most like spotlight on her, which is either when her banner came out or right now. There's also a lot of discussion on the Dehya main subreddit about the potential future characters that are coming to Genshin Impact. There's a lot of discussion in the Dehya main subreddit about how like it is kind of a little weird that like all of the, you know, POC characters in this video game, all of the characters with darker skin tones tend to be pretty bad. The only exception being like Kaya's like a good sub DPS, right? But like there's a lot of worrisome for future characters, and a lot of people just feel like this little guy is just gonna be Dehya but better, and Dehya is never getting a buff because of that. So, you know, there's if you are worried, if you think that like, you know, what Hoyoverse has done with Dehya is a bad precedent to set for the future. Like they said, today is the last stand. Today is the moment to do it. Today is the day to protest, if you will. Because after this, once the update cycle begins, we get access to Baiju's story quest. Baiju comes around on the wishes. Everyone's gonna forget. Everyone has already forgotten. Evidently, from what I showed you at the beginning of this video, a lot of people have moved on. And to be honest, I'm probably gonna move on as well eventually. Unless Dehya gets buffed, this is probably the last update on Dehya's state. You know, Dehya is one of my favorite characters in this game. I love like happy, bubbly characters, but I also like characters with a lot of story. And up until now, Yoimiya was my favorite character because of just how bubbly and like bright her personality was. And Dehya was like a high contender for my favorite character of all time because she tries to stay optimist, she tries to stay happy through it all, but she got a ton of like character like time in the story quests and in the Archon quests and all that stuff. So like, you know, I try to stay positive. But at this point, we just gotta move on. So if Dehya doesn't get any buffs, this is probably the last Dehya update that is happening. Hopefully she does. But to leave with a little bit of a happy note. Look at this little guy. Look at him. Look at this little guy in the new update. Look at him. He's adorable. He's adorable. He's a little turtle. He's a little guy. So if you want to see more cute tweets about the cute turtle and the new update, you should definitely follow me on Twitter. So yeah, I appreciate y'all for sticking by. Hopefully Dehya does get buffed. I appreciate it. Have a good one. There's a lot of things happening currently in my life, so videos might be a little weird, but I'm gonna try to make it happen. Streams might also be a little weird, but you know, I'm trying, but you'll see eventually. Bye bye. Have a good one. Bye. Have a fun 3.6. Wish you the best. Bye bye.